Scanning. Identity authorized. Welcome to the Secret Superhero Club Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Animation Station Podcast, your home for discussions and debates about all things animation. Each week, we'll rank, review, and revel in animated shows from yesterday and today, and from around the world. So grab your Acme slingshot, set your mobile suit to autopilot, and put on your mouse ears. The Animation Station Podcast begins now.
The elevator game, basically what you do, you must go to a 10-story plus building in an elevator alone. If someone walks in the elevator with you, it won't work. I'll do this in a do you want me to do this in a creepy voice?
Do you have a creepy voice?
I can try.
I didn't know you had a creepy voice. I've never heard it before.
If someone walks into the elevator with you, it won't work. Step 1. Get on the elevator on the first floor. Press 4. When you reach the first floor, don't get out and press 2. When you reach the second floor, press 6. When you reach the When you reach the 6th floor,
That's
press
creepy.
2. When you reach the 2nd floor, press 10. When you reach the 10th floor, press 5. When you reach the 5th floor, a girl will come in. That woman is not human. Do not talk or look at that girl. If you do, she'll take you away. Press 1, and if the elevator instead starts going up to the 10th floor, then you have succeeded. You will reach another world where there is no one except you. If you get off at the 10th floor, the girl will ask, where are you going? Do not answer her. If you answer her, she will pull you away, and you will die. You'll never be heard from again.
So, on this fictional podcast, there's this fictional game
Most games
from Korea.
This game's been around for a while.
So people in Korea play this game.
Yeah.
To creep themselves out. It's kind of like the saying Bloody Mary in the mirror
Pretty much.
5 times or whatever, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's also the whole thing about there's one about a taxi cab, where it's basically the same thing. If you call this taxi and you sit in the taxi cab, and then he'll just start driving.
Okay.
Like, you don't say where you're going or anything. Like, I guess you're not supposed to look at him. You're not supposed to say where you're going at all. He will just take you to where you need to go. If you talk to him or look at him or try to make any contact with him, I think you wake up in your home.
What?
Yeah, but it's also one of those, if you talk to him or something like that or say something wrong, it'll be your home, but it won't be in this dimension.
Wow.
So you may not get home. You may be stuck. Or he'll just kill you. There's rules with that one too. But...
Wow. The games people play, huh?
Exactly.
That's some creepy stuff. I think that's appropriate.
Yeah, I don't...
For this creepy month.
It is
it's
very
now
creepy.
Beginning.
And watch the creepy movie.
It wasn't that creepy.
It was alright.
Alright. It was great.
But anyway, after that wonderful funness, I should throw some sound effects of lightning strikes, like that. But anyway, welcome to the Animation Station Podcast. My name is Josh.
I'm Gavin. It's great to be back.
Yes.
Seems like forever since we recorded.
Yeah, we did all that recording.
Yeah, we did a lot of pre-recording over the last few weeks because Josh and I both moved to a new apartment complex to be neighbors once again.
Haha.
It was a epic, crazy day of moving that lasted the whole of the day and part of the night.
We started at 8:30. I was expecting us to be done with everything by 1 o'clock.
You silly man.
Yeah.
It was nowhere close to that.
It was 6:30?
Well, you guys took the truck back at 6:30.
Yeah.
We snarfed some pizza, and then Charlie and I went back to our place to do another load, and we didn't get finished unloading that until 10.
Yeah, and you guys
So
took
our
the day
day
off
was a little
after.
longer because we still had a bunch of stuff over there. So it was terrible.
It was
It was
awful
the
thing.
hottest day.
And it was only like 99 degrees.
I know. It was one of the hottest days of the year, and it was humid, and there was zero shade on any of our pathways. It was a nightmare.
And you all got burned.
I got a little burned, but then I ended up getting a heat rash, which I've never had before. But I broke out in hives like all over my body. It was terrible.
Delicious.
And gross. Yeah.
And I was totally fine.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Like you guys all got like super sunburned.
Oh, our friend Ryan looked like a cooked lobster, man. He was glowing.
And I was like, I was a little pink.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan also decided to wear a freaking tank top.
I know, it's crazy, but we couldn't have done it without him. Thanks, Ryan.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we would have died.
Exactly.
Trying to get that dresser up the stairs.
I don't even want to think about it. No, I'm having a hernia right now just considering it. So let's not.
Gavin,
what's up?
Let's start this thing off. We've been going kind of long. We've been recording for 12 minutes now.
Jeez, let's get to some news. Do we have any news this week? I think we do.
There's actually a lot of news. On the animation side.
Give us the headlines.
Unfortunately, Cartoon Network will be canceling, or may not be canceling. The show's coming to an end. Adventure Time. It's coming to an end in 2018.
So are they just deciding, well, we need to wrap this story up, or is it losing ratings and they're deciding we need to put something in its place? I don't see how it would be losing ratings. It seems to be really popular.
Yeah, it's got to be they're running out of show material.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it has an overarching story element to it.
Right.
But they throw a lot of random garbage in there. So that's like when you get a story element, it's like magic.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, yay, delicious little bit of story. It's so great.
Right. Well, not everything can be The Simpsons and just go on forever. So.
Yeah. But yeah,
all good things must come to an end.
Yeah, it'll be ending after its 9th season. Which
wow, I didn't realize it was that old.
Supernatural beat it, which is one of those like I can't believe it. Supernatural's been on longer.
Wow.
It won't die. It show
will not die. Yeah.
Not that there's anything against Supernatural, except that it should have ended after the 5th season.
Yeah, or 5th episode. Anyway, so what else you got in the news?
Little bit of news coming out of Disney this time.
Yes.
Mr. Jon Favreau is going to be doing the Lion King movie.
Yeah, this is fascinating because they're calling it a live-action movie, but I can't...
Well, here's another thing. It's also a live-action, like, CG hybrid.
Like Jungle Book.
A live-action CG project is what they're calling it.
Okay.
So I don't know. Like what I'm thinking is what they're going to do is they'll probably film a lot in actual locations, like maybe film out in the Sahara or something like that.
Or in Animal Kingdom in Florida. No, they'll probably go to Africa.
Yeah, because I mean it's the budget. You can write that off as an expense.
Exactly.
So they'll go out.
Favreau gets what he wants.
Exactly. They'll film so they can film some grass and probably animals in their natural habitat and stuff like that, and then impose the CG lions and other characters onto the real environment.
Right. That it has a lot of potential. I'm really interested to see where they go with it because personally I would consider the new Jungle Book an animated movie because there's only one live action element in it, and that's Mowgli. Everything else is green screen and totally CG.
There's some grass in there.
That's CG, isn't it?
Not all of it.
I thought all of it was.
Well, like some of the stuff that they show with Mowgli, like just like that scene that they keep showing with the stupid puppets, and they got like the googly eyes on the puppet, and he's trying to talk to they're like, this is what you're going to use. You're going to look at this puppet.
Right.
And yeah, he's like sitting on like this like rock thing with like this little grass stuff. So I mean, they'll probably do stuff like that.
Okay, there were props, but that's not live.
Well,
I mean, it's not real.
It's real.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like 98% animated.
Well, yeah.
So I consider that an animated movie. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to call this Lion King movie live action. It depends.
Well, it depends on what they're doing. Because it's like
if all the characters are animated, then I may call it an animated movie. Like, did you ever see the movie Dinosaur that Disney partnered with another studio, I can't remember, on doing? I like that movie, and that was basically a film of live environments, and they added CG dinosaurs into it.
Yeah.
And I thought they did a pretty good job with it at the time, at that level of animation. I thought it was really good. And this is what I'm picturing for this new Lion King if they go that route. And I don't know. I also don't know why you remake Lion King. It's perfect as it is.
I know, but it's also like, why would you remake The Jungle Book?
I mean, The Jungle Book wasn't original when Disney made it, and it's been made a million times.
Well,
so to me, that's less of a thing.
The Lion King's not original. It's Kimba the White Lion. Which is Japanese.
Is it really?
Yeah.
But I mean...
the guy's name is Kimba, and his name is Simba.
Oh, I don't need... Those barely even rhyme, dude.
Yeah.
No, okay, I didn't know that, but I still feel like it's kind of a standalone thing. Nobody else has done movies of it before, and I don't know. I mean, bottom line is, I'm going to see it. I am interested in seeing it. I don't know what to think about it. So, all right, what else you got in the news?
The last bit of news is coming. So we went from Cartoon Network to Disney. Now we're going to go comics, so we're going to go some DC news.
Ooh. Oh, wait. Is this about Batman?
It is about Batman.
I guessed it.
Because, DC's only known for Batman. There are no other superheroes in DC.
Isn't there one with super in his name?
I'm not 100% sure what. Oh, you're right. There is Shazam. Shazam's pretty cool. Billy Batson? You have no idea who that is, do you?
I don't, but
oh my goodness.
I don't know why you're dissing the greatest superhero of all time.
Rocket Raccoon? No, I'm just kidding. Rocket Raccoon's awful.
What's your Marvel news, Josh?
You just called it Marvel news. It's my
your DC news. It's all comics to me.
No, it's all comics to me. My DC news is so Warner Brothers Animation is doing a one-night only showing of the new DC animated Batman movie, The Return of the Caped Crusaders, starring Adam West.
What?
Burt Ward.
What?
And the best Catwoman ever, Julie Newmar.
Ooh, I don't know about that, but what?
Yeah, Julie Newmar. She's way better than Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, man, but Michelle Pfeiffer.
Halle Berry doesn't count.
Yeah, I never saw that one.
Oh, yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer's outfit was fantastic.
Unbelievable.
But Julie Newmar had that purple outfit.
I did like the purple. I agree.
It's very classic. And her hair, how she made her hair look like the little ears. There is
that. You're right. So is this going to be basically like another Killing Joke where it's really something made for DVD, but they're going to put it on the screen for one night?
It's the same thing.
So is that same kind of quality level, quick production?
I think it comes out like the next week.
Are all those three actors broke now, or why are they doing this?
I'm sure Adam West isn't. He gets all that Family Guy money.
That's
But I don't know what Julie Newmar and Burt Ward have done since. But yeah,
it's kind of weird to me that they would come back and do it. Are they going to sound really old?
Very possible. I haven't heard them. There's a trailer out there, but I haven't watched it yet. Just because it's like the Killing Joke kind of burned me.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
you don't know if you're gonna see it in the theater?
Don't know if I'm gonna see it. It comes out October 17th. Oof. So I have plenty of time to decide if I want to do it.
Yeah.
But check your local theaters, kids.
Yeah, check it.
Yeah. All right, Gavin, what did we watch this week?
Let's get it rolling. So in October, we're going to watch 5 Halloween or creepy or scary or some such type movies to celebrate October and Halloween in general. And there are conveniently 5 Mondays in the month. So we're gonna kick it off with a modern classic of stop motion animation, Tim Burton's Corpse Bride. That's what we're kicking it off with. So we're gonna have this is gonna be our lineup for October. We're gonna do Corpse Bride.
Whoa, spoilers!
Yeah, we're gonna let's just announce it. Let's run it out there. Get the people excited. Number 2 is Hotel Transylvania.
Bum, 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 bum.
Number 3 is Paranorman. Number 4 is Monster House. And
only one of these I've seen.
That's so sad, but exciting at the same time. And number 5, the king of them all, Nightmare Before Christmas, which will come out on Monday, October 31st. Halloween.
Playing that one too.
Yeah, it's awesome. So anyway, Corpse Bride. That's what we watched. We actually just watched it a little while ago.
Yep.
So it's very fresh for Josh, who watched it for the first time ever.
The very first time.
Yeah. So Corpse Bride is, I can't believe how old it is already. It's from 2005, which is more than 10 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long already. But it's basically Tim Burton's kind of next major stop motion hit after Nightmare Before Christmas. He did James and the Giant Peach in between, but that one wasn't very successful. But this one was pretty successful, and he gathered together a lot of the people from the team that he worked with on Nightmare. Director Mike Johnson, who he directs this with, worked with him on Nightmare. And the producer that produced it with him, Allison Abbott, or Abate, or I don't know how to say her last name. She worked on Nightmare too. So they had a crew that, was kind of familiar. And of course they brought in Danny Elfman to do the music. And we all know that Burton and Elfman have a long history of creativity together. They've had their ups and downs, but for the most part, they come together and they make magic. So this is another example of that. And then, like many Burton Elfman films, it stars Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter and Christopher Lee and
Is Christopher Lee in a lot of
what's
Tim
that other
Burton
guy's
movies?
name? Yeah, he's in almost all of them.
Oh.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just a voice, but I mean he's like a bit character in most of them. He's
Okay.
kind of like the
Is he in Nightmare?
the Ratzenberger in Pixar of Tim Burton films.
Is he in Nightmare?
I don't think he's in that one. I think that's one where he's not.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's not every single one, just like Johnny Depp isn't in every single one, but
Might
they
as well
have a
be.
tendency to have Johnny,
What-
Helena Bonham Carter, Christopher Lee,
What's
and
their
all of
first,
them.
like, the Johnny and Helen, like, what's their first, like, movie together?
I don't know, actually. Is she in Edward Scissorhands?
I've never seen that movie.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, you need
No.
to see that.
I don't watch garbage movies.
Wow, you don't know if it's garbage if you haven't seen
It's
it, Josh.
Tim Burton.
You have a lot to learn, my friend.
Yeah, I'm ready to get all the hate, like always.
Anyway, what's interesting is, and I didn't realize this until I started really looking at some of the credits and some of the research that I was doing on this movie, they actually partnered with Leica on this movie, on creating this movie. So Leica continues to pop up on our podcast as very influential, very important in modern animation. And I think they're part of the reason that stop motion is as popular as it is today.
Yes.
And actually have created some amazing things that now that I've watched Corpse Bride again, it may have slipped down a little on my list, having seen several Leica films since this came out.
Is this a full Leica film, though?
No, I mean, it's in partnership. It's Tim Burton Productions partnering with Leica, and it was made in England.
So I don't think you could put it up there with the Leica movies.
No, what I'm saying is that, their actual productions are at such a high level that I put them above this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And I hadn't really done that until I rewatched Corpse Bride tonight. I still love it, but I realize, oh my gosh, Leica has pushed this genre even further. And I'm excited for you later this month to see Paranorman, which is a Leica film, because I think it's absolutely amazing.
Did this come out before or after Coraline?
That is a great question. I think it's before by a couple of years, but I don't know.
Okay.
I'd have to look up Coraline. I want to say Coraline was like 2007-ish. So, but yeah, one of the other things is that I found interesting is this was done kind of in the early days of digital filming, and they had intended to shoot this all on film, regular film, like a traditional stop motion animated piece, but then they figured out a way to use digital photography, and they literally used like off the shelf digital still cameras that they modified with some fancy lenses, but basically they were just using point and click digital cameras to shoot that whole movie.
Just made like a
and they
Walmart
saved
run.
it all on those little camera memory drives of, like, I think they said 100 meg each, and they just had thousands of those that they had to then just like upload into computers and like compile together all these frames. And yeah, so I found that fascinating that they just were using just regular cameras to film it, and it looks amazing.
There's no way that's cheaper, though.
I don't know if it has anything to do with cheaper. I don't know. Maybe it's quicker. I don't know the reasons. What I was reading about it, it was more. I think it was more about the efficiency of it. You know, it didn't mention cost at all. I think they said they had 32 of these cameras that they used.
Okay.
And I think also they could have multiple people or multiple scenes going at the same time.
Oh yeah, then you know,
and spread it out. They didn't have to have it all in one reel or things like that.
That makes sense then.
I found that really interesting that they were just using what you and I would have bought off the shelf in 2005 if we bought a digital camera.
I bought an Xbox in 2005.
Yeah, I don't think I even had a gaming system in 2005. So.
I got a job just so I could buy that 360.
Nice. Dedication.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, it was also nominated by the American Film Institute as one of the top 10 animated films. I think that's pushing it. I think that's understood, that it's of all time. I mean, it certainly wouldn't be of 2005 because there weren't 10 feature animated films.
I'm sure there
out that
were.
year. Maybe, but I doubt it. I think
maybe not in the United
AFI
States.
pretty much does all-time lists.
I guess it is the American Film Institute.
Yeah, and I think that's an interesting pick. I don't necessarily agree with it. I usually agree with them for the most part. Also, this movie is dedicated to the memory of Joe Ranft. And if you don't know who that is, he is a famous story writer for the Disney studio, for Pixar Studios. He also did a lot of voice work. He is most famously the voice of Heimlich in A Bug's Life, which is hilarious.
Okay.
And he tragically died in 2005 during production of this movie. He was killed in a car crash, and yeah, very sad. So at the end of Cars, which came out the next year at Pixar Studios, they do a little dedication to him in that movie as well. So This movie ends up being dedicated to him. He was one of the writers on it, and yeah, he was very good. He wrote for Toy Story. He wrote for Lion King. He did great work.
The
great Joe
more
Ranft.
Respect now for
Yes,
Heimlich.
yes, hats off. So let's talk about it. Josh Kane, what do you think about The Corpse Bride?
I hated this movie.
You didn't hate it.
I didn't like it. Well, we'll just go with that. I did not like this movie.
Okay, you didn't like it. But you told me, as a matter of fact, that you really liked the story.
The story. I
you were
really liked
it.
the story. It was really, really good. Like, I was interested in the characters. I did not like any of the designs for the characters outside of Victoria.
Extreme. Yeah.
She was the only one that I liked at all. Oh, and I don't even Victor's dad.
Oh, the dad. Okay.
I liked him.
Yeah.
He was kind of funny when he
Mr. Van Dort.
Yeah, when he lifts his top hat up and he's got the little curly cue. That was cool.
The character design was very interesting in this one. I feel like the living were all so extremely designed. You know, their proportions were just out there, and hairdos were super high, or body proportions were super extreme, and you know, if somebody was hunched over, they were hunched way over.
Like that maid who's like
the maid, and even the carriage driver who's, you know, basically got a hunchback because he's hunched over so much. And yeah, I agree that I don't find it as pleasing to the eye as a lot of other animated films, but I like that they were pushing for a feeling of, you know, a certain gloominess and like mismatched parts. You know, the parents talk about how, you know, marriage isn't about liking the person you're with. It's like a business partnership.
Yeah.
And so it was more about just matching people up because of their money or things like that, not because they're attractive or they fit together in any way. And I think they were kind of playing off of that, and I kind of like that. On the flip side, though, or on the underside, I should say, when they go to the underworld...
So like the Upside Down?
I thought, yeah, kind of.
Ah.
I thought the character design down there was fantastic. Like all the skeletons and all
that's
dead people down there, I thought they were great.
There was no character design. They were all skeletons.
No, they weren't all skeletons.
The majority of that is skeletons. Are like, okay, we need to...
Yeah, but one had a curly mustache. One was like Napoleon.
Yeah, but they didn't really do. I mean,
Mr.
like,
Bonejangles.
when they're like, which again, you don't know his name until you look in the credits and you see
He's
Bonejangles because they never
awesome.
say it. But whenever they have like anybody doing any sort of like dancey jig or whatever,
Yeah.
the majority of that time it's the skeletons.
Well, people like dancing skeletons. They've
I
liked it
don't like skeletons. I
forever,
don't like skulls.
since
I don't like skeletons.
Disney did the Silly Symphony with the dancing skeletons.
I also don't like Halloween, so
Since
it's
Ray
not
Harryhausen did skeletons fighting and
I don't know.
Clash of the Titans
Okay, I
and
know Clash of the Titans.
Jason and the Argonauts.
The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. Is
Seventh
way
Voyage of
better.
Sinbad. I agree. That's a great movie. So you
That's
know
John Wayne's son.
So you know the work of Ray Harryhausen.
Yeah.
The legendary stop motion animator, the giant. I mean, he's like the greatest of all time. I don't know if you noticed, but when Victor sits down at the piano and plays his little tune when they first go into the house, the model of piano is Harryhausen.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a really cool nod of the hat to the great one.
But yeah, I like all these character designs. They were all they were just all awful. Like,
I don't think they were awful,
they were atrocious.
but I can understand how it's
you see
not
what I
pleasing
watch.
to the eye.
You see what I watch. Look, what is
Yeah.
on my TV right now?
Yeah, paused on his TV right now is an episode of Star versus the Forces of Evil, and it is the most pastel-y, cutie, sweet little thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's the stuff I like.
Which is weird because, I don't know, you seem to
I watch
tend
a lot
towards...
of bright anime too.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But you've got a lot of really violent anime, and your villains from that villains list were so dark.
And well, yeah, but those you can have dark characters in a pretty movie.
Bright, pretty movies. Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
look at
That's
Scar.
true.
He's like one of the greatest villains, and he has one of the
Yeah.
coolest songs. And
That's a
that
beautiful,
movie's,
very colorful movie.
Oh, it's so great.
I agree with that. I agree. But I mean, I don't know. The character design, I can see how it's not for everybody. And truth be told, a lot of it isn't for me. But I kind of get what they're doing. I kind of understand
I can
their
see
style
where you're
choices.
going. Well, yeah, I can see
Yeah.
where you're going with it, but it's like, for me, it just didn't. None of it connected.
Okay, well, let's go positive then. So you like the story.
I like the story.
So what gripped you about this story? What did you find most compelling?
I liked the whole, basically, again, I'm going to go with my favorite character in this movie, Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
I was more interested in what's going on with her. I didn't give a crap about Victor. I was like, whatever, dude. Just get with somebody. I don't care right now.
He is kind of hard to root for because he is kind of flaky.
He has no personality. He's a wet blanket. He's just there. And you're like, oh, okay. You put the ring on this thing, so technically you did bad.
Right.
Maybe own up to that, which you don't really do the whole entire movie. Then you sneak in and you're like, oh, I love this other woman, even though technically you are still married. And then you're like, well, I'll just go ahead and marry the dead one. It's like, you're such a wishy-washy get out of my face. He was pointless. The corpse bride, it's like, you're dead. He didn't mean to. You know that. You were around. It's like, you know you guys can't do anything with your marriage thing. He's alive, you're dead. Doesn't work. Someone's making a drink.
Is that what that was?
That was
shaking ice?
Oh, either that or he's doing a protein shake.
Oh, well, that's a drink.
It is, yeah. Yes, she's a pointless character too. The only one who I was rooting for was Victoria the whole time. She also is like one of the only ones that has any facial expressions the whole entire movie.
Well,
like they're
first
very
of all,
subtle. They're very subtle facial expressions, but like that's how you can see her mood.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
she's like, oh, like she's got that surprised look the whole time. Like whenever she starts falling in love with Victor,
it's kind of like a wide-eyed, naive look.
And then when she has to marry
Lord Burkus,
yeah. She's just like a blank face, like she's like a zombie because like I can't believe this is happening type look.
Yeah. Okay. First thing, we basically just got another Josh Kane synopsis in 60 seconds of a movie, which I liked.
Yay.
Second thing, I totally agree with you about the facial expressions because that's one of the things that I don't like about the characters in this movie is I feel like there's not a lot of expression in the faces, and there are a couple of exceptions. I think Emily, the corpse bride, Victoria, the jilted bride, and the villain, Lord Bacchus.
Oh, you're right. He does have a lot of facial expressions.
Faces and express things of emotion on their face. None of the other characters really do.
Yeah, Victor's is surprised. What does Emily do? Because I know she does she gets angry once.
Oh, she cries. She gets angry.
Yes.
Her mouth is really expressive. I think they were really focusing on those strangely luscious lips for a corpse.
Yeah, she did have.
And
great name for a band, Luscious Lips.
Luscious, that is a good band name. And
band.
Her eyes, said a lot. I just think those three characters were the ones that had real facial expressions, where everybody else kind of didn't.
The only thing I remember about Emily is she twirled around.
She did twirl around.
She twirled 4 times.
There is the scene where Victoria's mom tells her dad to smile, and he's trying to force that smile upon his face.
That was pretty good.
That is pretty funny. I like that.
All of the voice acting is my other good thing, and my only other positive in this movie is the voice acting.
It is really good.
I didn't like any of the songs.
Okay, you're dumb.
No, I'm not.
Because the songs are great in this movie for the most part.
On. You told me that it took a while for you to like that first song.
That's true.
Yeah, I've seen this the one time, so you're going to have to cut me a little bit of slack on that.
Okay. I'll cut you slack on that one song.
That one song. And what other songs are there?
Well, the best one is Remains of the Day, which is the one sung in the bar by Mr. Bonejangles.
I couldn't hear what they were saying half that time.
Really?
Yeah.
That's too bad, because they're basically telling you the whole story about how
I
got
the
jilted,
story, but
and it's actually Lord Burkiss, because you see his silhouette.
Yeah, you see his silhouette. It's like, come
shadow.
on.
No, it's not supposed to be a secret.
Oh, well, good. Because
it's pretty blatant, yeah.
I was he pops in. It's like, oh, hello, I'm here. And they're like, is he one of yours? It's like, no, not one of my family. It's like, sit down, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, they were desperate.
You guys do a background check.
yeah, a little bit. But what do you think about the town crier?
Oh, he's the shape of a bell. Don't.
And the guy sweeping in front of the clock store was the shape of a grandfather clock.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
With the pendulum.
I just noticed that he was going with the ticks. He was sweeping with the ticks.
Yeah.
But, yeah. No, I guess Bonejangles, he was kind of cool because he had the one eye that kept, moving around from side to side.
Yeah, roll back and forth to
different
different
sockets.
sockets.
He had the little bowler hat.
Yeah, he was
cool. He was all right.
And that was actually Danny Elfman singing that part. Yeah. And just the same way he sings Jack Skellington, if you didn't know that. So he does a great job.
Is he Jack Skellington? Or is he just
He's
sings?
not the... Well, I can't remember. I think he does do the speaking and the singing. I can't remember now. We'll know by the time we get around to that episode.
We'll hopefully know when we stop
I know
recording.
He sings it because he's amazing.
It.
Yeah. But what did you think, or I guess I should ask first, did you notice the score?
No.
Okay. That's too bad because it's really good.
There was a lot of piano.
It's really, really crisp. It's a very interesting Danny Elfman score because I feel like it's really, clean and neat and tidy, and there's a lot of syncopation and things like that going on, which I don't necessarily feel like it's... Well, I kind of feel like it stands out among the Elfman canon. It still sounds very Elfman. It's clearly Elfman. But I feel like it has this strange kind of neatness to it. And I don't know if that's the Victorian influence that he's trying to go for in this proper, classist environment that they're in, or if that's just what he was feeling. I don't know. I find it very interesting. And I also find it very beautiful. I think it's a very pleasing score. It's easy to listen to. And it apparently doesn't stand out very much, though.
Well, to be 100% honest with you, there were a couple parts, in the very beginning, where I was about to fall asleep.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah. I mean,
this movie does take a minute to get going.
It was before we even met the corpse bride. All that bit with the whole candle, him doing their wedding thing. Mm-hmm. I was just I'm going to fall asleep.
Yeah. You do.
Gavin's gonna get really mad at me because I'm gonna fall asleep on his couch.
No, hey, I want honesty. So if it puts you to sleep, we need to know.
Yeah, and you did. And when Charlie did come in and ask you, she said that we looked bored.
I was just focused.
You weren't bored, but you did notice that I did check my phone.
Yeah, when Josh checks his phone, I know that he's not captivated by the movie.
Yeah.
So there was one segment of phone checking. But I do admit that this movie does take a minute to get going, and until he runs out of the house and things start happening where, he meets up with the corpse bride and, all the action happens after that, basically. I remember the first time watching that movie, I did feel like, is anything going to happen here? This is kind of, plodding along. Nothing's really going. So I knew that at a certain point, you'd be much more gripped by the story. But yeah, that first part is kind of slow.
Yeah.
Now, what did you think about the color palettes that they used in
Didn't
this
notice.
movie? Because what?
Yeah,
I mean, it's
dude,
basically,
like I said, I didn't like this.
It's basically like Wizard of Oz, where it's almost black and white when they're in the land of the living, and it's full color when they're in the underworld.
Well, not really.
Pretty much.
I mean, it's just because you have the only bright part in that whole entire movie is the bar.
Okay, that's the brightest part, but the whole underworld is colorful. It's basically permanently at night, so it's not illuminated. But yeah, all of the color is down below. And they use the entire rainbow down there.
Didn't even notice that.
Wow, Josh. Stop looking at your phone and look at the movie.
I tried. I did like the spider.
Oh, yeah, the Black Widow?
Yeah.
Did you like the spider's song? Where they're sewing up his suit? Yeah.
Like that 13 seconds that they sang.
Lovely little ditty.
Yeah, that's all part of a bigger thing where everyone's like, we're going to
The
go
whole
get married.
Marriage procession. Man, Josh Kane. So, okay, let's get down to it and rate this movie. What's your rating scale this week?
We're going to do this. It's going to be really sad. I give this a 2.
A 2 what?
Just a 2.
Just a 2? You can't even come up with a rating scale?
Yeah. Man. If I'm going to give it a rating scale, it's going to get a 1. So.
Oof. Yikes. 2. Okay, so that's low on your list.
Yeah, the only saving grace for this whole entire movie is Victoria.
Okay, all right.
For me,
I got you.
I'll take every bit of hate.
Well, I'm glad we started with this one because I do feel like it's upward from here. I feel like the next 4 movies are all, well, you've seen Monster House. The other 3 are superior to this.
The next, 2, I've actually wanted to see.
Okay.
I never really wanted to see this movie. I knew it came out and it was when I was working at the theater. We didn't have it. But it was a theater in the mall, and there's a Hot Topic in the mall, so it's nothing but that merchandise.
Right.
And you just get sick of seeing it.
Because you're in Hot Topic all the time.
Well, I mean, you have to walk by Hot Topic.
True, you do have to walk by Hot Topic.
And it's like corpse bride crap all over the place. It's like every Halloween, they're like, oh, look, now there's Jack Skellington stuff all over the place.
To be fair, nowadays, Nightmare Before Christmas is a year-round thing. It has one of the biggest cult followings of anything I can think of.
Now it's all Harry Potter, and next year it's going to be Pirates of the Caribbean again.
Yeah, for a 5th time.
Oh, gosh.
I'm excited. I like that franchise.
I didn't see the 4th one.
Oh, I thought it was really good.
I've seen the first one multiple times. I saw the second and the third one once.
The second one is good. The third one's really good. The 4th one is really, really good.
Is that the one with
Ian McShane and Penelope Cruz? Yeah, it's so good. Ian McShane plays Blackbeard, and he's perfect. I love it.
Isn't his dad like some... Who's his dad?
Whose dad?
Jack Sparrow. It's not Mick Jagger. It's
yes, it's Keith Richards.
It's Keith Richards
from the Rolling Stones. Yeah.
I was close in there.
Yeah.
I was getting in.
I knew I couldn't think of it, and then you said Mick Jagger. It triggered it. Yeah. So, out of 5 Jiminy Crickets, this one, as I stated at the beginning, has now slipped down my list because I haven't seen it in many years, and just rewatching it, having seen several Leica films that are stop motion since then, having seen another Tim Burton stop motion piece since then, which I think is better, and
what's the Tim Burton movie?
Frankenweenie.
Oh, okay.
Which was fantastic. I am gonna give this one a 3. 3 Jiminy Crickets out of 5.
3 Jiminy's.
Because I still think it is really good. I think it was a very big step in a lot of ways in stop motion animation, but I do feel like it has some lacking points, like the slowness in the beginning, some of the character design, and a lack of expression on a lot of the characters' faces.
Yeah.
But I still like it a lot.
Yeah, fair play. So next week is
Hotel Transylvania, which is a comedy.
I like comedies.
Lots of color, lots of punch. I think it's going to keep you entertained. I predict you will not pull out your phone. Bold prediction, I know.
Let's hope. Let's hope.
And it's not stop motion.
Okay.
So.
Right. So let's go ahead and go to our next segment. We did a cartoon cafe. We went and saw Storks.
Storks.
So let's take us down to
the diner.
And we'll go from there.
Excellent.
Welcome to Cartoon Cafe.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Cartoon Cafe.
Coming to you from the lovely IHOP on Northwest Expressway in Oklahoma City. And we ordered some delicious pancakes. We're waiting for them to arrive, and we thought we'd give you our reactions to the new animated film Storks from Warner Animation Group. And Josh, what were your first impressions of this movie?
First off, I just noticed that you can get Oreos on this. It's not just candy corn, it's Oreos.
The scary face pancake comes with Oreo eyes.
But anyway, I thought this movie was good. There were parts in it that I felt could have been better, like the B story plot, the whole plot with the family
and the little boy.
The little boy.
The little boy was my favorite.
He was the best part of the whole entire movie.
He was great.
If we would have had more of a story with him, I think it would have been a better movie.
Maybe a sequel.
Storks 2?
Yeah, maybe a sequel.
Electric Boogaloo? That's
reused jokes.
Why not?
Why not? I mean, I pretty much agree. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't think it was great. For Warner Brothers, I thought the animation was really good.
The animation was really good,
I was surprised. I didn't know if they were, I don't feel like they're necessarily keeping pace with DreamWorks and Pixar and Disney this time, but they're doing a great job. And I thought the animation in this, the design work was really, really well done. The pacing was pretty good. I don't feel like there was any slow parts in it. And the action, it kept just going and moving forward.
There were definitely some characters that I think were pointless in this movie, like the whole the pigeon toady bit. Yeah. Get rid of him. He's useless.
He kind of reminded me of the saber-toothed squirrel from the Ice Age series. Are you familiar with the character I'm talking about?
No, I saw the first Ice Age.
Okay, well, you remember the saber-toothed squirrel that every once in a while they flash over to him and he's trying to protect or trying to regain his one acorn?
Oh, you mean the little thing that with the acorn? Okay,
yeah. So they use that same
he has a name, but I
gag
can't
through
remember.
the entire series of that movie. It's always going back to him, and something's always happening to his acorn. He's always having to get it back. Anyway, it kind of reminded me of that, where it's like, okay, we don't really need you here. You're kind of funny in some parts, but I don't know. I didn't really understand where they were going with that character.
Yeah.
But I liked the premise that they laid down in this movie about storks being baby deliverers and then
becoming Amazon.
They decide to basically be Amazon and deliver everything else instead.
I did like the free shipping, excluding Alaska and Hawaii, just like our friends at Amazon.
Exactly. I mean, that's not a spoiler because that was all told to us in the trailer for the movie. But I do like that premise, and it's set up for a really good story that played out. But I do agree, I feel like the subplot, or the B plot as you called it, was a lot of the time more compelling.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back to them a little bit more.
Yeah, I liked the whole bit with Tulip and Junior. I thought they were fine.
Yeah, they were good.
And then trying to get Diamond Destiny home, which is a great name.
It's hilarious.
But yeah, I wasn't really interested in there because I'm like, okay, I know they're gonna get the baby home.
Yeah.
I understand that, or else it's not gonna be this movie.
Right.
Like if we would have had more interaction with the family, I think it would have been way better.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, did you find it funny? Because I laughed out loud several times. I thought the humor factor was pretty high in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, they put a lot of pieces in play. Like they put Key and Peele in there as the wolves.
Oh, is that who that was?
That's Key and Peele, yeah.
I thought they sounded familiar, but I did
and like
not recognize
all that bit with the wolves, like
they were
wolves like form of a minivan and stuff like that. That was really good.
And they played up the cuteness. Like the babies were just too adorable, and they gave them like super hot pink hair.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Green hair. Like they looked like little toy babies.
I did get kind of touched up at the end, when all the babies are going to their new parents and everything like that. I was like,
yeah.
I got a little bit touched up there, but that was my only time.
It was pretty awesome. So, what did you think of the soundtrack being just kind of pop songs mixed into?
I'm fine with that because I don't really like the musicals, like the singing like animals or stuff. If Andy Samberg would have decided that I'm gonna have like a ballad, I would have left. It would have been awful.
Well, you would think they would pull like a Lion King and bring in an actual singer to do the singing.
But no, because it's Andy Samberg and he has The Lonely Island.
Yeah, but he raps. He doesn't.
Exactly. If they would have done something like that, I would have left.
I'd
be like, no, can't do it.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I feel like Andy Samberg is pretty good for animated movies because he is so animated himself. But I find him a little over the top.
It's also a drawback because he is so animated.
Yeah, I agree. It tends to be a little much. Like I prefer like seeing him live, like on Brooklyn Nine-Nine or on
SNL, something like that. Yeah,
I think it's much better for him, but I think he's zany enough that kids will definitely love him.
And the Tulip, I thought she was really good. Like she would have been my second favorite character in this movie.
Yeah, she was really good. I liked how she would have conversations with herself and play different characters.
That part was hilarious.
Really good,
she just changes the hairstyle.
Her hair, yeah.
That was really good.
It was awesome. So I feel like this movie is really pretty good for all ages. What do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, there wasn't anything bad in this movie.
Kids. It wasn't scary or intense for kids.
No.
But there was tons of jokes and things for adults to appreciate.
That whole bit with Tulip and Andy Samberg or Jr. trying to get the baby to go to sleep and everything that was
great.
Perfect.
It's really great. Yeah.
And I just like the whole part was like, well, you made it, you deal with it type thing.
Right.
She's like,
oh my gosh. So we also saw some trailers for upcoming animated films.
Yeah.
I'm excited about a couple of them. I think we talked about Trolls in our last
Trolls
Cartoon Cafe.
still looks good. I don't know why.
It just looks like eye candy, so I kind of want to just see it just for all the pretty colors. And it does look like it's going to have a pretty good soundtrack with Justin Timberlake and Gwen Stefani working together to give it a really poppy feel. I think that could be really fun.
I did like when we were joking on the way over here about what we're going to see, and I accidentally said Smurfs when I meant Trolls. I was like, oh, we're going to get that Smurfs movie. He's like, what? Yeah, I mean Trolls. And then there's a Smurfs preview.
Smurfs preview.
It's like, jeez.
I never could get interested in these new Smurf movies at all.
Yeah.
Like, I just couldn't. But then we also saw a trailer for Sing. Which it's kind of like they took the cast of Zootopia and brought them onto American Idol.
That's exactly what it looks like.
And it's basically a singing competition for fame and stardom. And it looks really awesome. I'm excited about it because I was a big American Idol fan and I was a huge Zootopia fan, and I think it's kind of cool.
Zootopia now available on Netflix, so watch that.
It is. They're finally getting some new titles. Oop, lunch is here.
Thank you.
You're very, very welcome.
Thank you.
On your side up?
Yeah. That's right.
You were
Over medium.
I forgot how I ordered it. Thank you.
You're good. Let me go get some hot syrup. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right. Do we want to finish this, or do we want to say we finish this real quick? Maybe take 2 seconds, finish it, and then putting pepper on my eggs, and then we eat. What do you say?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So
we want to rate this movie?
Yeah, let's go ahead. My drawbacks were the fact that we didn't get as much as the family as I wanted. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I thought the movie was fine. I thought Kelsey Grammer shouldn't have been as big of a character as he was. Because I understand that you have to have.
He was a pretty minor character.
Well, I feel like you didn't really have to have a villain in this movie. You could have had the whole they have to try and get there, like a Homeward Bound type thing. And I thought it would have been a little bit better than, Kelsey Grammer, Hunter, or whatever his name is, wants to like stop everything and basically kill them pretty much. It's like, there's no point in this.
Yeah, I agree. So what's your rating of this movie?
I'll give it a 3.
Okay.
3, what's an animated bird?
Tweety birds.
I'm gonna give it 3 foghorn leghorns because I don't like.
It's an even better bird. Yeah.
Oh no, wait, no. I'm gonna take it back. I want to give it 3 chicken hawks.
Okay.
A little chicken hawk.
That is good.
Out of 5.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm gonna give it. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome, you guys. Enjoy, okay?
Thanks.
Delivery of fresh hot syrup.
Delicious.
Lovely.
I'm gonna have 3 of these syrups, and you can have that one.
That's fine. I'll have one. I'm gonna rate this out of Jiminy Crickets. I'm gonna give it 3 as well.
3 Jiminy Crickets.
I was entertained from beginning to end. You know, I don't think it's the greatest animated movie, but it was solid, and it's one that I can see myself purchasing.
I will say, I may think it better if I watch it again, because this was probably the loudest movie I've ever been to, ever. All those
Meaning
kids, the audience, it was so loud. Yes.
So yeah, there were parts that I feel like I didn't hear.
Yeah,
exactly.
So we probably missed tons of jokes.
Yeah.
Like I want to hear the little boy. I think his name was Nate.
I can't remember.
I want to hear his like guilt tripping his parents.
Oh my gosh,
again.
That kid is hilarious. I love that little kid.
That was really good.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great fun little Sunday morning movie.
Yeah, really good.
All right, you ready to dig into these delicious pancakes?
Yeah, but first, Gavin, where can everybody find you?
I am on Instagram and Twitter at Gavin Otteson Art.
And I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Josh L. Kane. For the Animation Station, I'm Josh.
I'm Gavin. This has been Cartoon
TTFN?
Cafe.
I don't know. I still don't have anything to go with
We
that.
don't have a sign-off.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Animation Station Podcast. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Animation Station Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Animate Podcast. Subscribe to us on iTunes. And join the conversation at SecretSuperheroClub.com, where you can connect with our podcast friends, Cloud City Cast, Getting Into Comics, and Shaun of the Gathering.